3, 2, 1. Welcome back for another Let's Play that we've been playing the Shroud, Sam. Thank you guys so much for coming back for yet another episode. Today is our second day off, this time starring Boogie and Slurpin' Larry. When last we left our heroes, they were hunting down the most criminal threat around. Orphans. Can I get a little info on what your guys are planning right now in order to seek out and hunt down those orphans, Larry and Boogie?
Boogie is listening. Boogie doesn't really remember. All remembers is that we talked to the guy at the sand ship place, and he said that way, I think. Boogie thinks so. Boogie's Boogie's idea was that we go to top of that stalactite and look for them, but we can wait here for a few days as well.
Nice proper usage of the word stalactite. I thought a stalagmite was from the ceiling.
Nope.
Oh. Oh.
Yep, wait. From the floor, yeah.
Also,
I'm
I'm pretty
wrong.
sure that doesn't apply to spires of rock that are rising outside of a cave.
Why not?
Boogie thinks that it is a good way to get a mental image of where we're going. Yes. Boogie will follow. Boogie follows.
Oh. Oops. You guys begin going towards a stalagmite. You guys see it? It's right there.
Boogie thinks it's the tallest thing Boogie has ever seen. Aside from that one over there. He points in this direction, there's another one.
It's slightly taller. All right.
You agree.
You guys can move.
I'm putting out my character sheet. Okay. How does this spell work?
The way you were moving
Oh.
had me thinking like Dune for sure.
Boogie didn't really think of how we would climb this. Yes, Boogie thinks that is acceptable.
Oh, you attempt all right. Give me an athletics. You know, it's not for lack of strength, it's for lack of balance. You're unable to get to the top of it because each time you grab hold of it, it kind of begins to crumble. You're too strong. And you just can't seem to find a grip, and you manage to get yourself 5 feet off the ground a little bit. You're feeling like you're pretty good, but you just start to slip. And as you grab hold, you rip just a whole chunk of the rock out of the stalactite and bring it down with you.
Give Boogie a moment. Boogie will climb ahead and drop you down a rope. I'll climb.
All right, doing athletics.
Oh,
The stalagmatite seems unclimbable.
Boogie thinks that this stalagmatite dig is unclimbable. Boogie thinks with enough attempts we can climb all the way up. We should work together. Boogie Boogie learned from his tribesmen, and I'll wrap a rope around you. Boogie used to have a tribe, but Boogie left the tribe. But Boogie doesn't know if the tribe is still there or not, but the tribe could be there. And he'll hold it to the other side. Boogie is welcoming of individuals who wish to welcome his presence. Boogie Boogie could be persuaded. And then with the rope attached to Serpent Larry, I will tie like a rock to one of the other ends and throw it all the way up, trying to like lasso at the top of this.
I'll take an acrobatics check for that,
Oh shit.
or a sleight of hand.
Ah. Hold on, let me
Either
see.
way, your lassoing skills are not good enough for you to just take that.
That's true, that's true. We'll do sleight of hand. Wah!
Mm. You're able to easily get it on and hook it to the top of the stalagmatite. You're latched in now. You could pull on that. You give it a good tug. Seems like it
Yeah,
would
I give it a
support
good
you.
tug. Boogie thinks you'd be able to support me, but Boogie doesn't know if it could support you. Boogie thinks that this is just not for everyone. And I'll climb using the rope. Like next to Slurp and Larry, I guess. We're climbing together. Oh no.
Give me an athletics at advantage.
Who? Oh, okay.
Um, you guys are climbing in tandem or just next to each other?
um, nice to each other. Like, why wouldn't we?
Yeah, you guys make it up to the top. You have a much wider view.
Boogie thinks that it's a very nice view. Yes.
What are you looking for when you're up there? Now that you can see.
Boogie will sit down here and kind of like pan around. He's just looking for individuals crossing the desert.
I'll take a perception check.
Specifically, orphans. Perception. Oh,
You do see a man. Um, he um he he seems to be walking. He's got a cane. He's covered in oversized white linen clothes that seem to protect him from the sun.
point him out to Larry. Boogie sees that man over there. Do you? Because Boogie asks, "Is he with the orphans?" Is he? Boogie will accept that.
Never. They're not accompanied by parents. They can be accompanied by adults. By
Boogie was not
your
accompanied
experience.
by an adult either. Boogie was accompanied by a whole tribe.
You're looking for Glass Rivers.
Yeah, that'll be pretty good to know where it is.
You don't need to roll for this. You can look around. There is not a Glass River within sight. However, you do feel like with your bond to Hedatet, you could probably pray and be directed towards it.
Boogie is listening. Boogie is willing to give it a go. Boogie is wondering how praying works. Ooh. Hmm. Boogie remembers you using that knife on my hand. It's quite sharp. You take good care of it.
Do a point of damage to yourself. Nice.
Alright. Boogie will take the knife and take off his glove and then slice his hand and try to cup the blood.
For a moment, you see Boogie without wrappings
That's
on his
true.
hand, slurping.
The the skin is like decayed and falling apart. And it's like rotten to the core. Boogie agrees. Skin sometimes gets in the way. He'll nod. Teamwork.
Roll religion with advantage, please, Chase. um, I have a little surprise for you. Is that because you did such a good job on your roleplay, there was also a flat modifier increase. Um, you get the feeling immediately of Hedatet's burning presence. Your blood begins to rise and feel like it's going out to the edges of your skin, your scales. Your heart rate intensifies as your blood begins to boil. You begin heating up as if the sun has bared down upon you. Almost as if someone with a magnifying glass has like aimed the sun directly at you. Um, Boogie, I'd like you to
Huh.
make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh no. Wisdom. Oh, natural one.
You begin feeling sick to your stomach.
Oh.
As you have been bound into a ritual with a ceremonial knife to Hedatet,
Fuck.
one stained with orphan blood. Not the first time he's used it.
He doesn't
You
feel
have
too
just
good.
done a blood ritual of a god you don't believe in.
That is true.
Um, and this confliction might otherwise present itself as a fever, as sickness. Um, You, however, get the idea that your body is undergoing some sort of thing right now.
Oh no. Boogie doesn't feel too good. Boogie does. Boogie lands on his knees and collapses.
Boogie, you begin feeling topsy-turvy, and you're at the very top of a stalagmite.
Oh. Should we do a luck check?
I'll take a Constitution saving throw to make sure you don't pass out.
Alright. Constitution. Whoa!
You're able to stave off this dizziness and the sickness and the fatigue for just a moment. You're gonna have 2 turns of actions to give yourself something to do before you pass out.
Oh shit. First, turn around, sit down, lay down, find a safe position
There
to
does
be
not
in.
look to be anywhere you could lay down on this. It's a small. It's not. This is a smaller rock than it would give you. It's not like a mountain.
Okay.
You'd have to climb down probably if you wanted to lay down.
Okay, I gotta climb down. Otherwise, I'm scared I'm gonna fall down. Boogie will accept that offer as Boogie is going to pass out soon. I'll fall into Slurping Larry.
You
And
fall
then
into him and you begin to feel the venom of Hedatet flow through your own blood.
oh fuck. Boogie thinks this might have not been the best idea.
Your Bangalin scales begin to feel like they're melting into your body.
Ah,
Almost
Pangolin
like
scales.
almost like the skin that they were on has begun to degrade as the Bangalin scales go closer and closer to the bone. They almost falling into your body.
Oh shit.
The wound of where you once attached a orc boy's hand begins to burn on your other side, on your wrist, on the right hand, I believe, right?
Yeah.
The wound there begins to burn, and you begin oozing a weird orange substance from your right hand at that wound.
Oh, gross.
The blood as it leaves your body immediately clots up and falls to the ground, almost as a gelatinous substance by the time it hits the ground. Pass
Boogie
out.
doesn't feel too good. I pass out.
Larry, this is normal. Larry, this happens all the time. You've converted quite a few people, and they don't all make it because it's not for everyone.
Fucking hell. What have I done?
You're not certain if that was a willful conversion, but that's not really up to you. You, however, feel almost like there has been put a spotlight on your very location just at the outskirts of town. It seems like Hedatet knows something important is there. Almost like Hedatet might make its way from wherever Hedatet is on the planet. Hedatet might begin making its way to your location. That's what happens when you roll a 35.
And a natural one.
You're gonna defile him? You're gonna draw a mustache on his face because he's sleeping?
You see, like, as you take off his hood, he's completely wrapped in like bandages and other like types of cloth to like try to keep as much skin protected from the sun as possible. You see like one or two tufts of hair coming out from the top, but you can basically tell he's pretty much bald underneath it. And his eyes don't have eyelids, so they're actually still open. Um, and the rest of his face is still moderately covered, although you can tell there's bits and pieces of skin just completely missing.
Um, no, you're not. I'll give you a low DC nature check.
No.
Looking at him, you can tell exactly what's different about him. He is a grafted ranger. You can tell that by looking at him. That is not something that is the pieces of him, the parts of him, they're not normal. Um, it seems as though he has grafted pieces and parts of him that have changed his actual body makeup, his genetic makeup over time. Now you don't really know about genetics or anything in that, but like you kind of learn that like he's not like any species he should. Looking at him, you understand what a zombie is. You go back and you remember times at which you were taught tales of zombies. Uh, your character, for all intents and purposes, understands the weaknesses and strengths of zombies now, um, and even remembers stereotypical things that aren't necessarily true, like that they desire brains. You kind of think it's like a funny thing that you're not certain is real. Um, you see that you know that they typically don't like fire or radiant sources, but that you've just called a fiery radiant source over. Um, and you do know, from looking at him long enough, you do know that you're a Jotun, right?
I am,
Boogie?
in fact, a Jotun.
You can learn that about him while he is passed out. You can learn that he is a Jotun underneath all his bandages. And you, just at an examined body, when you feel his arm, you feel those scales in his arm. You know that those are Bangalin scales that are now seeming to grow naturally on him. All right. Time passes. Nothing really happens. You just kind of meditate for a while. Boogie seems to be having a fevered nightmare. All par for the course. Boogie,
Hmm.
you awake. You look around. You're not in a place you recognize. You're not. Slurpin' Larry is nowhere to be found.
No.
You're in the desert. Um, Endless. You look in every direction. You don't see any landmark. You don't see Crater's spine. You don't see or the spine of Krator. You don't see any towns, you don't see any particularly large dunes, you don't see the ocean. You just see dunes as far as the eye can see. You begin to wander aimlessly. You seem lost. You're confused. You're trying to find something that will help guide you or show you where you are. You feel like you need some form of control over the situation. You don't understand anything. You're not thinking logically. You begin running forward in a straight line only to end up, or to what you thought was a straight line, only to end up at your original footsteps. You look down, there are the boot prints of your exact shoe. Um, and the sand begins to sweep everything away. undoing all of it. So you can't even use the last footsteps to walk away. You are lost in the sands. Um, and the heat begins cooking down. You feel the heat bearing down upon you. You are sweating profusely. As a zombie and a Jotun, neither feels very good upon you. You feel weakened and fatigued as you begin to wander. You feel more and more tired. Your legs grow heavy until you collapse. Your mouth covered in sand, your eyes just above it, staring forward as you begin to see rumblings of the sand in front of you. You turn to the side, there's more rumblings. Scorpions the size of your hand begin to unveil themselves as they shake off the sand. They begin crawling towards you, and following them a small trail of heat which slowly becomes hotter and hotter as it bakes into the sand. It walks, turning it to glass. Shards of glass stick out from the higher ends of it. And the scorpions make their way towards you. They crawl at a slow pace. You look around, you try to find a direction you could move, but you're too tired to get up, and they're surrounding you, and everywhere you go, you don't even know what direction you would go if you could. Paralyzed in fear, you stand there as the scorpions continue to walk towards you, ever closer, burning the earth underneath it. They catch up to you, your skin begins melting off as they emanate heat. The scorpions begin stinging you on repeat over and over. They sting into you. You see a bright orange glow go through the veins that hold that carry venom to their stingers. As it slowly goes to you, you see it course through your flesh. On the outside, it glows as it traps through your body. And when the first bit of the scorpion venom gets to your heart, it all goes black.
Oh.
As you follow the path of Habitat, you begin to scorch from inside and burn.
Damn.
That's the nightmare you have. It goes on for
Oh,
longer than that. There's much more, but that is what stays
I
burned
mean,
within your memory forever.
I walked long enough to collapse. I'll probably last for like 2 or 3 weeks.
In your mind, it's what like the
Yeah, yeah,
passage
yeah,
of
yeah.
time is different.
Yeah. Scorpions! Scorpions!
um, Time will pass. Um, about 2 days. So you'll be on your third day. 2 days pass during this time where Boogie is just uncomfortably baking in the heat while Larry just holds you in the same place. Larry, do you choose to move him at any point? You just hold him like a babe to a mother. He holds you in his arms, lovingly, caringly, slurping laringly.
Jesus.
You will awake with
I awake? Oh, sorry, go for it.
you will wake up feeling considerably less hot.
Spooky things. That was a terrible dream.
Larry, you see him. Uh, one of the gifts of Habitat has been placed upon him. He has been given the eyes of Habitat.
Oh shit.
When you look up at him, or when you look down on him, you see, or as you've been watching, you have seen 4 additional. I think scorpions have 6 eyes. How many eyes do scorpions have?
I think
How
it's
many
6-2, but
eyes do scorpions have? I'm not gonna give you 12 eyes. That seems cruel. I'm gonna give you 6.
all right.
You have 6 eyes. You essentially get 4 new monitors added to your brain and your senses. Because I have no idea how else to describe having 4 new eyes. Your extra visions are all opening their eyes but staring directly at rags covering your head. It almost is too much to just stare forward and see um, darkness with light coming from behind the cloths.
Mhm.
It makes you feel like you've almost been blinded, when otherwise your other 2 eyes would normally be just enough.
Oh, I see. I'll like slowly peel up a portion of the bandages to reveal the eyes.
You feel as though stress has been released from your body when you do so. You stop having like this blurry vision. You kind of see better. Um, but more than anything, it feels better. Larry, you look down at him and he has been gifted.
Yes, Pookie is listening. Pookie is glad that he is awake. Wait, that. Oh. I like wave my hand in front of my head, realizing the different perspectives of the eyes, and like it's coming to fruition. And to his understanding, he finally has 6 eyes. Pookie understands now. Pookie has more eyes? Pookie, Pookie is now wondering what do these eyes do? Yes. And Pookie will start playing with the eyes, like try like zoom in on something maybe. I don't know. Just get used to them.
You try using your eyes and you look around, you try squinting. No like periscope action happens.
Damn it. I had to try. Yes. Pookie thinks that perhaps it has more functions, but having 6 eyes is still good. Um, range of vision. I don't know if scorpion eyes. Oh, it's the same as human eyes. Okay. Boogie will get used to this, but Boogie can accept it. Boogie can get used to it. Although Boogie is wondering what that dream was all about. Oh, yes, Boogie had the dream of wandering around the desert being stabbed by scorpions. Hmm.
Larry, you remember your dream being far more pleasant, by the way. You had you had scorpions like crawl into your mouth, but then they just kind of sat there and were friendly with you. They used your mouth as an alcove, and you hung out with the scorpions. They began to talk to you, and they pointed you in the direction of like an oasis where you found water and shelter. And in there, you found a chest with, you know, you found a chest with a deployable training dummy where you were able to just practice some of your moves and fight. You remember it feeling like about a month in there, all of which felt like vacation time of hanging out with your scorpion friends.
He'll slowly shake his head. No, Pookie does not want to hang out with scorpions like that again. Pookie did not bite down on them. Pookie was too tired to. Like set up. Get out Larry's grasp. Pookie is surprised. Pookie didn't realize he was in. Pookie. It was only 2 days. Pookie was in there for 3 weeks. I'll look at him in awe. Pookie is impressed. Pookie is very impressed. Pookie is wondering, though, did you find the orphans on their way here? If I remember correctly. Boogie will. And I'll pull out my
And Boogie,
great bow.
when you turn around to look, you see a small pillar of red smoke.
Point at it. Boogie is wondering if you know what that is.
Larry, you look over there, you don't see anything.
Boogie sees a thing of red smoke in that direction. Hmm. Can I like try to see what the red smoke's trying to tell me? Is that possible?
You just see red smoke coming up from a pillar, like a big column of smoke. Seems to be coming
Mhm.
from a location um from your southeast.
All right. Is it like over like the dunes or something?
Yeah, it's over the dunes. You don't see what's over there.
Right, right.
Um
Well, Boogie is wondering what that red smoke is. Perhaps we could approach it, but Boogie doesn't really want to leave our area up here, as Boogie doesn't really know what's over there. Hmm. Boogie thinks that might be the case, or Boogie may think that your vision isn't as good as Boogie's, as Boogie has fantastic vision. But we can go there anyways. Boogie thinks we are faster than orphans. Alright, start climbing down.
well, you're tied off, so it's really hard for you to fall at this point. You can rappel down easily. You're able to rappel down using the same rope. It's still in that area. Just because if the fact that it was tied to him made it easier for him to go down first. If you had tried to go down, it wouldn't have been there. But you did. Um, Big money.
Alright,
You guys begin traveling down,
Boogie
and I'm
sees
gonna
it
move
that
you up
way.
as you guys go across the desert.
Mm-hmm.
And you come across this site.
Hmm.
Pillar of smoke was emanating from here. As you get closer, at no point do you ever see red smoke, Larry.
Boogie sees that the red smoke originates from this encampment.
By the time you guys get over here, it seems to be nighttime. There seems to be a small fortifying structure set up from a very temporary looking wall and just tents. And it looks like boxes from supplies been
Nice.
brought as
Do
well.
we see people running between the tents? Maybe.
You don't see any people running between the tents, but I'll take a perception check out of you.
Yeah, sure.
And Larry.
Ah. Oh.
But as you look closer, you can see that the red smoke does not appear to be coming from some campfire in the middle,
Hmm.
but rather a small amount of smoke seems to be leaving each tent and then coalescing in the center and then rising up.
Huh.
Larry. You see an adult man going through some boxes on the other, from the other side. You can see the boxes being lifted and moved. With your keen eyesight, you're able to see much more closely that someone is fiddling with some objects. After watching him for enough time, you begin to see that it's actually this person before you.
Oh. Boogie thinks that that is appropriate. Boogie is wondering why those red tents are spewing red smoke. Oh, is Boogie a part of the family now? We did not know. Huh.
As you get closer, he begins to see you at the distance. We'll put you back just over here. Not that it matters.
Hmm.
Halt! Who goes there? Yes. Who Meowvir you are? I will not stand for
There we go.
befuddlement.
Low wave.
And what business do you have here? Oh. Well, hello.
If Boogie may ask, Boogie is wondering why your tents have red smoke coming out of him.
Turns around. Smoke. Oh, there's no smoke coming out from the tents.
Hmm. Boogie will keep that in mind.
Larry, you also don't see any red smoke coming out from the tents. Hi. Usually the children call me Headmaster Whiskers, but you guys can call me Mr. Whiskers. There's no need for, you know, titles. And likewise. And your name is? Oh, you said Larry, right? Sorry. This heat's really been getting to me. Yes, but at least it'll calm down now that night has fallen upon us.
Boogie is wondering where the rest of your caravan is. Well, Boogie was wondering as there's no one on guard. As from what Boogie's familiar with, there's right. Boogie
you're
stands
you're
corrected.
so nice, and he's so sus. It is unbelievable how sus Boogie is right now. He like looks and he looks at Boogie, and every time Boogie talks, he frowns. Um, and
I
every
do have
time
like disadvantage on persuasion and stuff, so like
and
it makes
e-
this makes sense.
every time Larry speaks, he kind of like drops his guard for a second, like he's folded arms, like angry eyes, looking at you, frowning. Like, what the fuck is wrong? Why does this guy keep talking about the other people? What is he? Is he worried I'm alone? He's like having constant thoughts. You can tell this from passive insight. Passive insight tells you that it's not going well every time Boogie opens his mouth. Larry, you on the other hand seem to be disarming him, right? You're making him drop his guard slightly. You're like, oh yeah, well, and you're just charming. When you say, Headmaster Whiskers, oh, Mr. Whiskers, you see him like almost find camaraderie with you instantly. The wildness and the difference between you two is like you can see it. And yes, I do have many traveling companions with me, but I decided it was a good chance for us to catch some rest. I'm just overseeing. Where are you two headed? Oh, do you not have shelter?
You see a shit ton of arrows sticking out of my back. I have 155 arrows on me. It is so bad. I have like 3 quivers filled to the brim with arrows, some of them absolutely massive, a huge ass bow. I'm like equipped to fight a war.
I am afraid that I cannot offer you any shelter for the night. I mean, I wouldn't hate the company, but I haven't gotten permission from the others to welcome anyone, and I'd hate to wake them up to do so. You must understand. Yeah,
Pookie is a little bit interested in why there's only one person keeping watch, but Pookie can keep that into his mind and not say that out loud. Oh, Poogie has that habit sometimes.
am I gonna have to worry about that one?
Poogie is wondering if you require assistance guarding the camp for the night. That way we can have some company and talk about other caravans that might be crossing the desert.
Um, when you say that, um, when you say that, a a shadowy figure, in the background darts from one tent to the other. Um,
Is it a
not a very large shape. Yes. Ah, there's a couple kids that are just seeming restless. I'll have to make sure bedtime is properly managed. But is there anything I can help you two with before I see you off, or?
Boogie was also wondering if that individual is running the background would be your child.
Oh, well, they're kind of all my child, but I'm not any of their parents. He, as you open it, you can see his face turn to horror. Um, as you flash out the pamphlet, he's seen that pamphlet before. It strikes fear into his very heart. He turns around and screams, "Children, get to safety! You must get up and leave immediately! Run!
Boogie
Fight
thinks
for
with a
your
lump
lives like I have trained you!" He screams, and you begin hearing rummaging in all the tents.
Bookie says, I think I might
Roll
go.
roll it. That's gonna hit. It's going to hit, and it's going to do terrible, terrible things to this man.
Oh,
As he falls over, slumped as you just slash him in half. His top half still standing there.
Boogie is ready. I pull out my Australian great bow and knock an arrow.
I need to remove that and that from the initiative. And add some others to the initiative.
Oh yeah.
Anthony, you can just connect to the server.
People are spectating, don't talk.
Oh my god, I've been converted. Boogie is wondering which ones we choose to live. Oh, okay.
And you see these figures all come out. I'd like you guys to. I'd like Boogie. Boogie, I need you to roll initiative.
You gave them all nine, all names. Undead. I'm
His name is
hearing
Undid.
Orphicus and Orphilia and Orphaniel. Alright, initiative. Boogie
Wonderful.
asked again,
Allow me to
4,
sort.
correct?
All right. You see the consistency of the red smoke seems to have been greatly diminished. Now just each of these children you see, Boogie, uh each of the children is just seemingly outlined in a small visible red.
Boogie agrees. Also, Boogie must declare that the orphans are covered in red, making the red smoke.
And just a tiny amount of haze drizzles off each one, leaving a small trail visible to you.
Oh my gosh. I can see orphan sense. That's kind of disturbing.
Huh. Orphan sense is a weird way to put it, but it's not wrong.
Alright, orphan sense.
You feel like you had a pretty long range on your orphan sense too.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking massive. Alright, whose turn is it?
It's Undad. Undad immediately pops out, looks up at you guys,
Hmm.
and screams, "Oh, guys, we gotta run! It's not good out here!" And immediately begins booking it another direction.
Boogie will kill that one first.
Slurpin, it's your turn. Hello. You'll never take us. You're killing Orphicus?
Orphicus.
Let's see the damage roll.
I can get my replaced goblin hand. Let's go.
I think it's D6 for damage, but you need to roll the attack roll. You could use your strength. You have proficiency. A 15. With Orphan, not pictured is actually a shield on his back. And he's actually wearing armor and has a shield. A 15 will hit his shield. Do they have returning? Do your axes have returning? I think they do. And a axe will go through his shield, shattering it to pieces from doing too much damage. But the attack will be warded off. And an axe will return back to your hand as the shield falls down, shattered. His demeanor looks he looks immediately worried. He drops the remains of the shield, and he puts his second hand on the spear and points it at you. He quivers for a moment. You can absolutely throw another axe. Throw another. That one will hit. Can you roll the damage? That is gonna be enough. um, you throw an axe and it goes clean through his skull. He is now standing up with his head splitting at the bits. You could do an offhand bonus action. Please, mister.
Oh god.
Okay. So Fanny's fucking dead.
Wait. Flurry of
You don't
Blows
just
is also a bonus action.
You don't stop, by the way. You run up to him, and your first punch knocks him clean out. But there's a part of you that senses that their life still beats within his heart. You go over and you you drop to your knees on both sides of him, pinning him, and you just begin pounding, pushing his fucking skull in until he has nothing but paste at where his head used to be. You stand up. You kind of dust your knees off. Okay, that's me. Okay, Boogie.
Well, what I was gonna do is I was gonna shimmy over here and shoot an arrow through both of these two, but that's not gonna happen now, I guess, because we gotta keep 3 alive. So I'll shimmy over here. Dunk.
Where are you shooting?
Shooting him, the guy who's running away, undead, the quick guy.
All right. Let's see a shot.
I'll use Great Weapon Master on it. Oh no, a 12.
Well, it's gonna be enough. He's wearing cloth. You hit.
Mm-hmm.
It goes in the back slot of his neck and out his mouth.
And the wind pressure just annihilates because it has what is this? It has cleaving on it and penetrating, so it just fucking annihilates him.
You killed the last child.
Oogie must declare to the remaining orphans that if you run, you encounter a far worse fate than those that just died.
Go ahead and roll intimidation.
Sure. I have negative charisma.
The children are terrified of you, but not enough to submit.
Really? Okay.
Orphaniel turns around and he rushes towards you. He begins casting a spell, and vines begin to entangle you. I need a wisdom saving throw, Slurpin. You're able to avoid becoming paralyzed by them with the magic that begins to coat your body, but the vines still go and lash at you, dealing half the damage. You'll take 1 damage. he looks fairly worried, because he thought this was his big moment. Bruce runs up to you, and he begins punching at you as hard as he can, repeatedly. Do any of those hit you? 11 damage as Bruce begins punching at you as hard as he can, unleashing the same monk techniques you seem to recognize. Orphelia runs over to the corpse of Orpheus, and she pulls out a diamond,
What the fuck?
holds it in the air, and throws her other hand directly onto his head, where it was cleaved open by a throwing axe, and begins casting a spell.
There's no fucking way she has a diamond.
And the orphan
2 billion. I need a bit more than that.
and the orphan resuscitates, and its head comes back together. You just begin seeing the child scream. I was dead. I was. You hear children screaming at the top of their lungs. We must stand together. We can take them down. Undead is bleeding out on the ground over here. Oh, Harpin, it's your turn. They don't seem convinced.
Oogie thinks that maybe we could get 4 now.
It hits, and he guards your first attack. Despite you landing a clean blow on him, it doesn't seem to be doing. Oh, and he's dead. Oh, okay. Non-lethal. So he guards your first attack perfectly, seeming to take no damage. Then your next one domes him and knocks him out. Oh, so he's paralyzed.
Wait, so technically does that mean that he's paralyzed? Oh, okay. Okay.
Is there axe on the hand axe? Was there poison on the hand axes? He's not paralyzed then.
Alright.
I'm not scared of you. She turns around. All right, Boogie.
Yeah, I'll swap my arrows to be the flat arrow tips that I got. So they are now bludgeoning. And I will shoot a bludgeoning arrow at Orphaniel, aiming to knock him out.
Okay, so
Probably going
you're
to.
not pulling the bow all the way back like you might normally. You're
Oh
just
yeah, it's
trying
like
to you're trying to
70%.
hit him in the head and knock him unconscious.
No, I'm hitting the side because if I hit him in
Oh.
the head, he's gonna die. I hit him in the side, break his arm and like his ribs, and knock him out that way through sheer pain.
I want to brutal hurt, but no, not kill him.
No, we're not killing him. We're just
Maimed? Yes. Kill? No. Holy fuck, dude. Did you great weapon master him
I
and try to
did.
non-lethal? That's
Yep.
25 damage to a child.
Yeah, he gets fucking crushed, dude. He's not gonna give up.
I the kid is a vegetable on the ground now.
Boogie kept him alive, as requested. What level are we? Are we level 4 or 5? My sheet says 4, so I don't
Or
think I have extra. Alright, I do not have extra attack. But I will get a little closer. Oops, that's too much. 30.
all right.
Done.
It is Fanny's turn. Fanny has been killed. Fanny is dead. Orphicus stands up, grabs his spear, and looks at you. Uh, and he doesn't find the courage to stab at you. He just what he tries to do is he tries to like shift Ophelia back and then stand in the way with his action. And because he's moving her, it doesn't provoke an opportunity attack. Force movement doesn't provoke. Orfaniel is paralyzed from the neck down. Bruce is paralyzed around his body from the poison, and Ophelia looks at you, and she's gonna point. She's gonna drop her staff and then point at each of you, and have both you make a dex save as she calls down radiant light upon each of you. Boogie, you don't take damage. Slurp and Larry, you take
Thank God.
2 radiant damage. As they do their absolute best to fend you off. Undead is dead. Flurpin, it's your turn. Yeah, I'll take that with a I'll take that at a character level die. So D20 plus character level. All right, a 21 is going to be sufficient to conk their heads together and end this fight as they both get non-lethally knocked out. This fight is over. You guys did manage to kill children, and you managed to beat the ones you didn't want to kill.
I'll grab this Orphaniel by the neck. And I'll drag him over. Yeah, the one part he can feel. Give Boogie a moment as Boogie
So,
has some.
the 3 of them are unconscious, but Bruce is actually woken up and now just stares at you, although he can't move.
Boogie thinks you may have to defang that child. Actually, hold on. Give Boogie a moment. I'll go find a rope somewhere. He's paralyzed, right? I'm gonna tie
Yep.
him up.
He looks at you with contempt.
Yeah, I'm
You
just
tie him
good.
up.
He's
You
tied
can
up.
take. You have enough time to take a 20 on it. So, would you
Can I
like
actually
to?
tie? Uh, I want to tie all four of them, like kind of like together, so that we can like hold the rope and kind of guide them with us.
Okay, you have tied him where? Is it just all their hands together, or from their
I like
chests?
to
Where do you tie them?
wrap around their chest and arms to like keep their arms together, and then down and around their wrists, and then that for all of them.
Okay, and you just you get through. I'm gonna be real. You have 100 feet
Uh-huh.
of rope, right?
Uh-huh.
You wrap a child.
Uh-huh.
You do their arms after.
Uh-huh.
You get 5 feet away, and then you do another child. You start to realize you don't have enough rope to do all 4 children.
Okay. Is there more rope around the camp? We can put them in pairs.
Yes, there is another 100 feet of rope. That is completely reasonable.
All right, we'll put them in pairs.
But you have to disassemble this tent to get it.
Sure.
Okay, you do so. You guys killed Fanny, and Undead.
I mean, we didn't need to take all of them, so.
They're so dead. They're so unbelievably dead. He looks at you with contempt. All right. Are you guys you have a feeling that Hedatet's coming towards you. Are you guys going to try to meet Hedatet there somewhere, or what's the goal?
We gotta bring them to the class.
Yeah, but Hedatet's pretty fucking big, so you would kind of see Hedatet well before it got to that area. So just let me like ask this again, right? Like Hedatet is like building sized, right?
You're right.
Like a smaller high school.
Sure.
Um,
I like how everything is children themed. It's great.
like a football field.
Right.
Hedatet is kind of like the Safeway Stadium, the Safeco Stadium. So you're not gonna fucking miss it moving towards you.
Boogie is listening. Hmm. Okay. Boogie is questioning why, but we can do that. Oh, before. Hold on. I'll go through his coffers. Well, Boogie lost quite a bit of skin when getting converted, so Boogie needs more. I wish to fuck, what am I gonna take from this guy?
Bruce watches intently.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna fucking take his claws. Like just rip them out. And then I'll take
They
his
each have pockets, and
I will
each
take his
one of them
purse.
is
Doesn't
able
make
to
sense.
receive the pamphlet.
All right, I'll just be taking the cat claws.
All right, so you are going to declaw him
Yep.
one at a time. It's a corpse, not a big deal.
Yeah. What's the what's the what should I call it?
You could say tabaxi claws.
The backseat claws. All right, I'll be playing with those later. Oh, all right, Boogie is ready. Boogie thinks that's a pretty good idea. Are you asking me or the children? Boogie would be glad to watch. After all, Boogie is now a part of the family. All right. Boogie will grab some rations for them. That way they won't starve to death while we travel. Unless that is part of the trials, in which case Boogie won't. Boogie's new to this whole head-to-tat thing. We'll just ask them. Boogie says, if you want food, please speak up now.
The three unconscious children don't respond. This one begins blinking rapidly.
Boogie says that he didn't speak, so Boogie doesn't think he wants it. That's probably a no.
Bruce looks at you with contempt.
Boogie's used to it. Isn't that the default face people make at him? Like, Boogie thinks that they will go a long ways. Hmm.
So you pick up three unconscious children. You begin dragging the last one because he's not unconscious. Oh, in pairs. You transport the children.
You will sit
You're
down.
about like you're further than this map.
Oh,
Well, while you're 50 feet away from the children,
uh-huh.
let's just say it's double the distance. You're 100 feet away from the children. It's like
Right.
you'd feel like that's pretty good. Um,
Yeah, let's back up a little bit.
you get the idea. You get the idea.
Get
Larry,
some
as
fun.
you kind of like focus in on the feeling of that spotlight, you feel like you're like a day away. You feel like you're a day away from Heditic getting there.
Oh, Boogie thought that they didn't want food, as they didn't respond. He'll, he'll nod. He'll get comfortable.
There is futons and chairs, and the
Oh,
whole
hell
setup
yeah.
was actually so nice.
Oh,
You bring the comforts of tent living to the
oh,
dunes. Oh,
Oh
to the dune.
hell yeah! Can we just have a picnic in the dunes with bloodied children, or half of them are passed out
You
over
even
the
you even
corpses?
find like an umbrella that goes into the sand, and you two are perfectly covered.
Do we have like wine or something? Like, do we have wine glasses and wine?
You find a water skin, which is like the closest thing, the next closest
All
thing.
right.
The headmaster wasn't a drinker, and the children weren't able to buy it.
We would like hold up the water skin to like do a cheers with Larry. Do a good job done.
All right, you guys spend your day relaxing. You spend your night relaxing and
Poor
worryless.
Bruce, just watching
Um,
all this happen in the heat without water. It's so bad.
sorry, it was nighttime when you guys took them, so
Oh,
you
okay.
know that they will be heat soon. But
Okay, right.
uh, you guys, how do you guys go to bed? Do you keep watch, or you guys they're tied up?
Boogie thinks that there are dangers in the desert, and no matter what, we should keep watch, just in case. Boogie will keep first watch. Although, Boogie feels like he's slept for many millennia.
All right. You guys take watches and they're uneventful, but you guys do take your full rests and get fully rested. Um, you guys even sleep in because you're not in really any rush.
Boogie's like a little scared to go to bed, because he doesn't want to have nightmares again.
Flurpin, you have a great night's sleep. Just the absolute best. You dream of the scorpions hanging out with you. There's some oversized scorpions. Um, really your size, but still actually scorpion, not sentient, like lizards. And they're playing volleyball with you. And then another scorpion comes by and offers you guys like tropical drinks as you play as you guys play beach volleyball.
Boogie just imagines just like he's just getting eaten by a scorpion right now. Boogie thinks that guy is really tough.
uh, and you wake up 8 hours later. You take a full rest. You sleep in. Everything's fantastic. Boogie, it's your turn to go to bed.
Alright, Boogie will go to bed. You like lay down and be like start to close well, he can't close his eyes. He starts to like fall asleep and then wakes up and then starts to fall asleep and then wakes up and then finally goes to bed.
Roll me a Constitution saving throw. Is the venom in your blood? Oh,
My
it
blood.
does. It haunts your dreams again. You
Oh
go
my
to sleep
god.
and you wake up yet again in the middle of the desert, except everything around you, the dunes, are acting like waves in the ocean as they begin to crush down upon you. You have to swim to the top of the sand as it begins to not be as aerated and it becomes denser and it begins to sit. It traps your legs as you get to the very top. You begin trying to just get air at this point. You feel like you're going to get drowned in the sand until you find yourself half buried by it, and the sun intensifies, turning it to glass around you. You are stuck in a you are stuck halfway down inside of a what essentially looks like a large plate as Hedatet herself begins walking towards you.
Imagine in his sleep you see Boogie like doing like he's like swimming, trying to get through sand. And he's like doing like swimming motions on the ground.
And
Like kind of like spazzing out a little bit.
and Hedatet approaches you and reaches towards you with one gigantic meaty claw emblazoned with sigils, and crushes you in half and begins bringing the top half of you that's not collected to the glass to the mouth, where
Oh
you
my
spend
god.
the next what feels like 3 days being eaten and digested
Jesus
until
Christ.
there is nothing left of you. You wake up And only 2 hours have passed.
Boogie is good. Boogie doesn't need more rest. He says Boogie is fine. Boogie will be okay. All right, Boogie will try one more time.
I'd like another Constitution saving throw to see if you overcome it this
Fucking
time.
No.
Not a dream, except worse. You dream and you have been supersized. You are the size of the Galcan Mages Consortium building in town that Lord Thalarin owns. You have been enlarged. You are huddled up in a ball. Um, as you begin to see scorpions crawl inside your body. You begin to see it. You begin to see them as they begin tearing and ripping at you. Your small scorpions tearing at your flesh. They crawl underneath your fingernails and they begin trying to detach them by cutting at the sinew that holds them together. You are being essentially tortured your entire sleep as they slowly claw away at you.
Boogie will take
you
the
you
sword test.
can't you realize that you want to rest and that you eventually gain sentience over the fact that it's a dream and you cannot wake yourself. You
Oh
cannot
no.
escape it.
Oh,
You end up feeling like you get tortured for the next 6 hours while your body demands to rest.
God damn it.
And on the horizon, beautiful as she can be, Larry, as you hear Boogie begin to stir from his sleep and wake up, you see her crest over the sand dunes.
Boogie's awake. Boogie's finally awake. Boogie's free. Sees her. Boogie's not free. Boogie's not awake. Boogie's not free. He thinks that just makes it worse a little bit. Kind of like hide behind him a little bit.
As time passes, Hedatet gets closer and closer. You prepare the children for to move. And you will see Hedatet acknowledge you, Larry. As Hedatet gets closer, her 12 eyes all focus on you. And one claw raises high above the sky. Right behind her, the sun. The claw begins to it starts out opened as wide as can be, the pincer, and Hedatet raises it just barely so that there's shadow enveloping all around you except your anything that actually anything that is your actual body, the area immediately around you. Everything else darkens around you, almost like a spotlight has been put on you. And Hedatet then crashes the hands to the mandible pincers. Sorry, the Hedatet crashes the pincers together. A loud shockwave can be heard from about a mile away where Hedatet is. A while passes before this strong movement happens. And the sand around you begins to heat up and turn to glass underneath your very underneath your very feet. Sigils begin to glow around your body. You feel warm for a moment, then it passes. You begin to feel You begin to feel blessed by your god, as though Hedetet is constantly with you right now. Despite being so far away, you feel Hedetet against your skin. The touch of your god. Hedetet begins to lock their eyes in on the encampment. And the slow pace begins to become a scurry as it walks across this massive desert like a mouse would your kitchen floor. Although in size comparison it is a very large space and it is a small creature in comparison to the desert, it makes good progress through the desert. Terrifying speeds as it goes in, leaving a massive crater.
Oh.
And you begin to see as it burns the sand away. And the sand begins to heat after the presence of the walking. I can't do this with these colors.
That's great, man. It's fantastic.
You begin to see scorch marks around the area.
Dude, heck.
From the area where the pincers crashed in. You begin to see Editet feed herself with the entire encampment. As the claws pick up almost everything in one swoop, and the other pincer comes in, bringing the contents of the encampment, including the two orphans, straight to the mouth. As Editet begins to leave, slowly meandering away to the northwest. You see the earth cooking in front of you as it opens up, and you begin to see as glass forms, scattered glass all upon the path that had just walked. The glass river has formed right in front of you.
Oh my god. Boogie is in awe.
No, please, mister! They're awake now, by the way. And only the one is still paralyzed. He does not talk. He just stares at you lifelessly.
Perfect.
His eyes
I mean,
dart
not
over to
perfect.
Boogie every once in a while.
That's awful. Who could have done that? What a messed up individual.
Please, mister, you don't have to. Oh, please, sir. Sir, don't do it to us. Orpheus begs you. Are you gonna kill us if we don't? Oh no! Let's see. Which one is crying?
Probably
Orphelia begins crying her eyes out. Please don't, mister. Please don't. Um,
Yes. Boogie is fine. Boogie has saw the trail of glass in his dreams. Yes, Boogie was ripped in half on the trail of glass.
Bruce says, "Cut me loose. I'll walk it better than you ever did." My name is Orphan. No, it's not. You're not me. My name is Bruce. He lied to you, mister. See, I'm a good one. You don't have to send me into the class. Orphan says. That's fine. I'll do it myself. He says in like his edgiest, angriest voice. Um, he begins dragging Orphelia, just straight in.
Oh no,
You
Ophelia.
see him wince at the pain as he walks onto the glass. As it begins to immediately cut into his feet and then begin cauterizing the wound with the heat from the glass as he begins dragging the other child.
Wait, she gets dragged through this? Oh my god.
You can see her face begin to get slashed as she cries out, screaming. But Bruce keeps dragging her. Until the line cuts from the glass. I'll find you, and I'll kill you for this. Bruce begins
Oh,
walking the
Bruce.
path.
Boogie thinks that Bruce will come back. Boogie thinks he
Orphelia,
might be
all
able to
cut
join
up.
our adventuring party.
Orphelia, all cut up. Begins like rolling like a worm to try to get the glass to cut the ropes until it begins to get loose. And at some point the ropes catch fire and begin singeing her. You hear screams. But she frees herself and says, "Wait up! Don't leave me! I don't want to be alone." And she runs forward with Bruce.
Oh
Orphan
shit.
stands there. You don't have to do this, mister. Please. I I don't know.
I'll poke him.
It doesn't respond except with its eyes.
Boogie doesn't think it can do anything but look around. Boogie has an idea. Why doesn't that small one carry the other one with him? Because he still seems alive. What do you think?
I'm Orphan. Yes, mister. I always wanted a family. I never had one before. You're telling me if I walk on it like them, I'll get a family? All right. And you begin seeing the same thing that happened last time. Happened with Orpheus. Except Orpheus doesn't run after. The other two.
Is he carrying Orphaniel or is he dragging him?
He's dragging Orphanuel.
Oh no.
Eventually it cuts, and Orpheus begins walking the other direction of the glass.
Oh. Boogie agrees. Boogie hopes that the nightmares stop now since he has given tribute.
Larry, you know for a fact your dreams never ended of Habitat, but they were never nightmares to you, so this doesn't stand off as anything you recognize. You guys, Larry, you feel yourself, you feel, even though Habitat is now, you begin walking home, time passes, while you begin going back to Cutney, uh, you still feel as though, Habitat is with you. You feel almost skin to skin contact, like a presence, the very life essence of Habitat follows you.
Boogie is glad. Boogie hopes that his spirit will be lifted too with time. Boogie is wondering, how often do you do this? Well, the next time you do something like this, Boogie is willing to join again. Boogie, although the difficulties, had fun. Boogie, Boogie definitely will.
And you guys will begin coming back.
Walk into the sunset.
And you will see as you get back, you can also see at the same time Shakan and Terry and their vessel just outside the town as they begin returning. And you see the other adventuring party in their sand skimmer, also coming back to the town.
Wow. Anthony left. He's like, I can't take this anymore.
That was a brutal session. Holy shit.
What, the children torturing or the or the scorpions in your mouth?
Everything.
When you guys get back, you are on the outskirts of town, and when you see the town, you see that it has been covered in a dense sandstorm.
Oh.
Oh, nice
And we
tech,
will see
man.
what happens next time on Toad
Nice.
Drama Island.
Alright, I'll save the campaign.